Hello friends, and welcome to another YouTube video. This video is going to be over Genji's interior of his home. Genji is one of my home villagers over in Animal Crossing, and I am super excited to do this, so let's get started. So with Genji's interior, it was pretty wooded. It was very, let's just say, not tasteful. Like, I understand he's a jock, but like everything was wood. And it was just terrible. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting out with something of like wallpaper and flooring to kind of get a gist of the idea of like how I want his interior to look. When I see Genji's outside of his home, I think of like Zen or very harmonious styled home, or like an Asian styled home that has some type of like imperial typing look, just very broad. And then taking his color scheme as a whole of having like a dark rich brown with whites, pinks, blue eyes, the green and yellow with white shirt, just bringing it all together into this house is what I wanted to establish. So I chose for the main wallpaper to be chic tea wallpaper, and then I chose a harmonious wall for the accent. For the floorboards, I chose old flooring. And so now I'm going through and choosing what I like of kind of like Asian styled homes, or bringing that kind of Asian style midst of interior into this home. I know that he likes a mossy type garden of some sort, which I plan on doing on his exterior of his home much later down the road. And then going from there, I will, for sure design the outside of being kind of like a mossy type garden that he would like, or at least I hope he would like. So I'm bringing like all these rich browns, these greens, these things. I'm bringing a lot of the stuff that I went over for like 4 hours trying to figure out what to do for his house, because I had no idea how I was going to design it, how it was going to look. I wanted to make sure it was a home that he would enjoy, but it was also very functional for him. And that's kind of like how I started getting things going. I wanted to make sure he had a little workbench. I wanted to make sure he had a little kitchen. I wanted to make sure he had something to bathe and he could use the bathroom if he needed to, and a place to sleep, because it is his home after all. He needs a place to lay his head down. So I'm going through, I'm kind of like trying to figure out like how I want things set up. I want to make sure the outside of like the windows are showing the little circle spots. I really like the browns and stuff. I was trying to figure out like how I want it to kind of look. Do I want to keep like the partition walls, or do I want to have like not partition walls but keep the wood beams there to act like partition walls? I went and just said I prefer it with the partition walls instead of having it no partition walls, because it just looks weird, and at least to me it looks weird. It seems off. Like, you wouldn't want to be peering into someone while they're sleeping, or peer into someone while they're bathing. But I mean, this is their home after all, so who knows? Like, they might not have a bathing area, they might not have a bathroom area, they just might use, I don't know, one function for all, if anything. So since he is a jock, that is his attitude, I didn't want to do too much of jockey in this. I wanted to kind of like bring a Zen type of quality to it, because a lot of the preparation of being like an athlete and stuff, it starts technically at home in the kitchen, of portion controlling and getting the nutrients you need in your body. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. If I imagine he had an actual job, I can imagine him being kind of like, I don't know, like Iroh's apprentice from Avatar, The Last Airbender. I could see him being like a tea shop owner like Iroh. So, or even a gardener for that matter. But that's what I imagine him being if he had a job. And I really love like him as a person. I love that he calls me Mochi, and I love just the overall aspect of him as a villager. And I'm so glad I got him as my first villager. And I am excited that he has been staying on my island as long as he has. He did try to move away once, and I told him no, he can't move away. So I make sure I talk to him at least once a day if possible whenever I'm playing Animal Crossing. And I'm happy now that I'm able to design his own home for him that kind of flows with how he is, that I see as a Animal Crossing character. So I wanted to make sure I brought a lot of like that rich brown into this, but trying to balance it out with like whites or like stainless steel and a little bit of green here and there, and pink. I didn't add too much pink to this because I'm not a fan of pink, so I kind of added some richer browns that were a little bit brighter, that kind of like added like a red pink element to his color palette as a Animal Crossing character. So I was like trying to figure out like how to give him like little things that would be in a typical home. I also imagined him, since he is a bunny rabbit, to be kind of vegan. I made sure to keep his protein bottle there, but chocolate flavored. And I'm adding a few things that were gold elements into this to kind of, again, balance the really dark interior, to kind of brighten things up a little bit so that way it's not overly dark. And I'm just like adding a few things, like I could imagine him having like little anime art pictures, going through adding like little shelvings that got a few things from back home, a picture that he likes, some air conditioners to make sure it stays cool because I imagine it can get very hot in there. Just a few things to wall mount. I can imagine him having a TV. I can also imagine him having like cosplays for Persona 5. That's what I imagine that mask to be. And then traditional like fox masks. I made sure to add a few greens in there to kind of, again, balance everything out, to kind of make his home a little bit more plant friendly, as well as, again, make it functional and make it viable for him as a home for him. So trying to see what works and what doesn't. It's all like playing around and just trying to see if things work. And then lastly, it was adding in rugs. I normally add those in before like I start adding like all the details, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to add like separate rugs to kind of make it like separate walls and rooms and things like that, or like a separate flooring. And I really liked how this mortar rug looked, so I just drug it across the floor through several rooms. I put the kimono shoes there, and I added a mud rug to kind of elaborate of them taking off their shoes when they enter a home and stuff. So I wanted that to be there. And then I also added a kitchen rug for softness for whenever he's doing dishes and cooking and stuff. And then I felt like it was missing something else, and then again it wasn't. So this is the final build. I hope you guys enjoy it. More speed builds coming soon. This is just the first of many that I have planned, and this is the first on my island build. So I hope you enjoy Genji's build. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work and it was a lot of just trying to figure out him as an Animal Crossing character. So I hope you enjoy Genji's interior home. I hope it suited your needs as a functioning home for Genji. So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe for more content like this in the future, please do so, and I will see you in the next video. Stay batty. Bye.